All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're doing something a little different. We're conducting a full performance autopsy. Think of it like this. We're stepping onto a professional trading desk to figure out exactly why a trader who actually has a winning strategy is still losing money. And more importantly, we're going to lay out the non-negotiable plan to fix it. Let's dive in.
You know, this quote, it just hits the nail on the head. We're not talking about some huge, dramatic blow-up here. Nope. We're talking about something way more common and maybe even more dangerous, the slow, steady leak. It's those small, consistent mistakes that just drain your capital, kill your confidence, and, yeah, can end a career. So this is all about finding those leaks and plugging them for good.
Okay, so let's get into the case itself. The case of the leaker. We're going to do a professional desk evaluation of a trader's performance in January. Imagine this trader. They've got a $100,000 account, they have a strategy that's supposed to work, and they have strict rules, but they're still failing. Our job is to figure out why, just like a real desk manager would.
So take a look at these numbers. These risk parameters, they tell you a whole story. On a $100,000 account, you've got a max loss of just $200 per trade and only $400 for the entire day. Now, what does that scream to you? It means this trader is basically in an evaluation phase. The goal right now isn't to make a ton of money. Not at all. It's to prove that you can be disciplined, that you can be consistent, and that you can control your emotions when things get tough. That's the real test.
Okay, so now it's time to get into the nitty-gritty, symptoms versus strategy. We're going to dig into the hard data to find the real truth. Because, you know, the numbers, they just don't lie. We have to move past how the trader feels or what they intended to do and look at what actually happened. Let's pop the hood and see what's really going on.
So first up, the daily performance snapshot. 4 winning days and 7 losing days. That gives you a daily win rate of just 36%. Now hold on, a low win rate isn't automatically a death sentence, right? It can work, but only if your wins are just massive compared to your losses. As you're about to see though, that's not exactly what's happening here.
And here it is. This right here is the smoking gun. We're seeing massive rule violations. Remember that $400 max loss per day rule we just talked about? Well, look at these numbers. Minus 427, minus 450, minus 510. It was completely ignored, repeatedly. Honestly, this tells me everything I need to know. This is not a strategy problem, folks. This is a discipline problem, plain and simple. It shows me that this trader knows the rules, but when the pressure's on, they just don't respect them.
Okay, so after seeing those losses, you're probably thinking what I'm thinking. So is this strategy broken, right? I mean, maybe the whole system is just flawed. It's a totally fair question to ask, but it's the wrong one. Let's look at the other side of the coin for a second.
And this is why this is so interesting. Here's the proof that an edge actually exists. Look at these wins. Plus 692, plus 453, plus 373. Wow! These aren't just little scraps. These are clean, really good numbers, way bigger than the allowed risk per trade. What does this prove? It proves that the strategy can extract money from the market. When this trader is aligned and actually follows their system, it works. It works beautifully.
And that brings us right to the real diagnosis. It's not the system. It's the selective obedience to the system. See, the problem isn't the strategy itself. It's that this trader is only following it sometimes. It's like having a professional-grade tool, but using it with amateur-level skill. And that mismatch, that's the source of every single leak we're seeing.
So let's break this down. It's almost like there are two different traders in one person. On the one hand, here's what they do well. They size up on winners, they stay engaged with the market. That's great. But then, here's what's absolutely killing them. Letting losers breathe, which is a huge no-no, and trading mid-quality setups. These are the cardinal sins, probably committed out of boredom or just plain impatience.
And there's a name for this exact behavior. It's called hope trading. It's when you hold onto a losing trade way past its invalidation point, just hoping it'll come back. This is the absolute opposite of professional execution. Look, for a pro, losses should be fast, small, boring. You should forget about them in 5 minutes. This trader's losses, they're big, they linger, they're emotional. And that's because hope is not a trading strategy. Period.
Okay, we've diagnosed the problem. Now it's time for the professional's prescription. These are the non-negotiable rules we need to implement immediately. If this trader were on my desk right now, they'd be put on immediate, very strict restrictions. And let me be clear, these aren't suggestions, they're rules, hard rules. And they're designed to completely rebuild professional habits from the ground up. Rule number 1, and this one is going to sound harsh, but it's absolutely essential. It's one loss equals done. The second your first red trade hits a loss of $150, you're done for the day. That's it. Shut down the platform, go for a walk. This isn't just about saving money. It's about saving your sanity. It's about psychological preservation. It stops you from revenge trading, and it forces you to stop the bleeding before it becomes a disaster.
Okay, rule number 2. This one plugs that other big leak, taking bad trades. The rule is simple: A+ setups only. From now on, you are only allowed to trade the best of the best. Here's a little mental trick for you. If the setup isn't so good, so obvious that you'd be embarrassed to show it to another trader, then it's not tradeworthy. This is how you stop that death by 1,000 cuts from taking all those little impatient garbage trades.
So, how do we enforce these rules? With a very structured 30-day fix plan. Let's walk through it. Step 1 for the first 2 weeks is super simple. You can take a maximum of 1 setup per day, and your main focus is on journaling every detail. Then, in week 3, you can add a second trade, but only if your first one was a winner. Finally, in week 4, we evaluate everything: your win rate, your average loss, and most importantly, your emotional control. Notice the goal here isn't to make money. It's all about perfect execution and rebuilding good habits. We don't add complexity until the discipline is back.
And all of this really leads to the main takeaway of this entire exercise: mastery through restriction. The path to becoming a consistent, profitable trader, it isn't about finding more strategies or having more freedom to do whatever you want. It's the opposite. It's about achieving mastery through restriction. The end goal is to become a trader who enforces rules almost automatically, like a machine, taking your emotions completely out of the equation. So, I want to leave you with this final, powerful thought, straight from a desk manager. You don't need more strategy. You don't need more size. You need less freedom. Think about that. This trader, they already proved they know how to win. The only thing left to fix is their inability to stop themselves when they're on the losing side of things.
And that really brings this whole thing back around to you. Because this isn't just about some random trader's performance, right? It's about a pattern that, let's be honest, we all can fall into. So the final question I want to leave you with is this: what rules do you know are right, but you consistently fail to enforce when the pressure's on? Really think about that, because just answering that question honestly, well, that's the first step to plugging your own leaks.